Hello and welcome to my bean show. I'm shaped like a jelly bean. I'm shaped like a jelly bean. I'm shaped like a jelly bean, living as a disco bean. My little disco song. Okay. Yesterday I logged on and I was going through my little tissue cultures here. I have about 6. That doesn't look like 6, but there is 6 in there. Maybe this one will look more like 6. 6 little plants in each bag. And they're all Thai constellations. I have 3 bags left to go through. And I already did a lot of them. I had 60 altogether, so what is this, 18 of them left, so the majority is done. All my little tissue cultures. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to do it all at once, each step on all 3 bags. So let's open them all up. Get this all choppied up. How's that? My face. And our last bag here. Okay. Got our bags opened up. What we gotta do to these little guys is rinse all that gel off so we don't get nasty bacteria growing all over them. So I got my little rinse dish here, my little wash bottle, which I should refill before I start. Just regular tap water in here, nothing special. But in my spray bottles, I do put antifungal and antibacterial treatment in there. Let me check something real quick. Hold on, people. Hold on. I'm wondering what's up with my quality of video. I guess 1 is okay. Whatever. Good enough. Good enough. Okay. So here we go. Let's get the little babies out. I don't dump them out of the bag because I like to leave a lot of the gel behind in the bag if I can. This gel is really watery too. This person's gel is very crazy. I didn't make these gels, so. Boop, boop, boop. Very watery gel. Okay. Got those little ones in there. Let's get the rest of them. Get all my little babies in there. It's a big old jelly chunk. Stay behind. These 2 are attached, so I'm not gonna force the jelly off the roots yet. Sometimes they do like attach their little roots, but not in a way where you can't separate them. They're just stuck together through their little root hairs. One of these roots broke. No! When the root tip breaks, it's the worst. Honestly, this root tip is like so important. Super important root tips. Okay, we got these 6 left here, and then I can start washing them. Some of these have like really nice roots for their size. Like a decent size root. Whoa. I had way too much jelly on it. I don't like the jelly. It makes me feel weird. try not to think about it. I used to wear gloves for this, but honestly, gloves just get in the way half the time. I don't even know how people work with gloves all the time. They have to be like the perfect fit, and then when they are the perfect fit, they make my hands all sweaty and clammy, and I can never find the right type of gloves. I've tried latex, I've tried the ones without the latex, different kinds, you know. Just don't like working with gloves. Okay, but I do need my tissues. Where are my tissues? Over there. Get this glob of a gel off of my hand. Okay. It's not like it's nasty, it's just nasty. Alright. Now, before I start washing all of them and dive into this, I do want to smoke a bowl. It is time to smoke the marijuana and make sure that we are prepared. Oop. Oop. Okay. Let's see, what are we going to choose today? I cannot handle the mule fuel. The mule fuel is real strong. Let's go for this dude. Like having different choices, you know? So I have 5 flavors right now. Not much of any of them, but it's nice to have all of them. Little discard boxes there. I'm gonna pack me a little bowl here. Oh, it actually looks like I don't need to pack it. There's one that's already kind of packed. We'll wait for that. All right, cheers to the world, to anybody out there. Cheers, people. Yes. Happy, what is it, Tuesday today? Happy Tuesday, May 20th. Yes, gotta get in the mental state for my plants. In a plant state of mind. Giving them a little pre-rinse to get some of the jelly off the top that I can see there. Woo! That was a good hit. Okay, I'm going to do a little back section here. So I'm just going to rinse the jelly really well off of each one of these, especially off of those roots that are going to be submerged and wet. Get it off the leaves. Go, little baby. So I'm just going to wash all of them and transfer them onto this next little bin. I'll give them one more rinse while they get into that second bin, or after they get into the second bin. And then I will put them into the containers. Here's the little root tip, the other one lost. I just found it on this one. It's not coming apart either. Just wants to stay attached, whatever. Stay then. Can't force too much with these little babies, you know? All right. So if you can get the jelly off your tissue cultures really well, you'll have a better chance of them acclimating properly and going through the transfer pretty well from the gel to your next medium. Because leaving the gel on there really increases the chance of mold and bacterial growth, since it's kind of nutrient rich, meant for that stuff to grow on. I don't know why people are not adding plant preservatives to the gel. I mean, people add plant preservatives. I shouldn't say that. I just don't know why we don't increase it if it's like impeding on the growth of the plants. But the gel itself does harbor nutrients for all kinds of organisms, not only plants. So if we put some kind of inhibitor in there, it would be nice. Then you wouldn't have as much problems when transferring them, but whatever. Washing works too. Probably allows the plants to grow better without all those inhibitors in there and all those additives. Okay, got a few more here. My tub is getting a little full. I got 2 more roots stuck together here. Oh, oh, they're all entangled. See, sometimes they just stick, just like that. It's like one root onto the other. I just try to like gently pry them apart as best as I can. Like just stick my little nail in between that. But sometimes they're actually like real stuck and they end up breaking. Trying not to break this one because the other one already broke. But they're not supposed to be together, so they should come apart. But this one doesn't want to. Really try not to damage that tip of the root. On the tip of the root, there's this little thing called a root cap. And the root cap is really important. It allows the root itself to grow behind it. And the cap itself is like useful for pushing the soil away. Like it kind of drives the root through the soil. And once you lose that little root cap where there's a lot of mitosis and cell splitting there, like cell elongation, you lose that, then the root kind of stops to grow. Stops to grow. And obviously that's a problem for your plants, especially when they're young. They really need a stable root system in order to feed themselves. Hi, Rancor. Hi, sassy girl. Doing my planties. Haven't seen you in a while because I haven't been on in a while. Okay, I'm going to get rid of all the nasty gel water. As in, I'm just going to put it back here for now. Because we don't want that to contaminate the rest of our plants. You know, I was thinking of you, sassy girl, because I have these snake plants behind me. Can you even see it? No, you can't. They're right there. Really can't see that. But I need to take them out of the pot. They're kind of ready. And these ones in particular, the reason I thought of you in particular is because when you told me to cut my other ones, like, what, 2 years ago, maybe now? Maybe a year ago? I don't know, time flies by. I cut them and I planted them, and these are the ones that you encouraged me to plant. And now I have whole new plants from it. Isn't that awesome? There's 1, 2, there's 3, and 4. I only put 2 in here, so these other smaller ones are like actually just shoots that are coming out from underneath the soil. Pretty cool, huh? Thanks for the encouragement. A truckload? Jesus. Yes to gardening. You know, I'm trying to get a seller's permit so I can have a truckload of plants all the time. So I can sell my plants better. But I'm learning still. Apparently I put in my application and it was wrong. Whatever. I'll do it again. Apparently you need a permit before a business. I thought you needed to like file to start a business before filing to get a permit. I don't know anything. I'm learning it all. But I will get through it, and I will have a little plant shop sometime soon. I'm hoping to have a plant shop, I don't know, by October. In September, or maybe it's in October, there's a week where it's the National Indoor Plant Week. Kind of aiming for that. Oh, for the outside. I don't know why I imagine you with all these indoor potted plants. And okay, these are going to be my little caps for my friends here. So once they're in their soil, I like to cap them so that they're safe in there for a week or 2. So I'll leave those here for now because they're draining. I wash them. I reuse all my stuff. So I used to be so scared of bacteria, but now I just realized that it's not that crazy. I'm not like culturing bacteria in a lab here. So here's the fluval that I put all my plants into. It's that, why is this right now? I got crazy. I don't even know what's playing. So this is the aquatic media meant for aquariums, fish tank plants. But I love it. It's a great compared to soil or moss or anything else because it really, really prevents bacterial growth in here. So this stuff is the Fluval. It's like little tiny beads, little black beads, and they do leave a little smudge on your finger. But these little beads are amazing for small transplants or for propagation. They really help keep your plant stable. They have some nutrients in them. And they, put this one back. And like I said, they really do help with preventing growth of other things on there besides your plant. What do you mean you keep your plants behind closed doors? Oh, because of the cat. Okay. I'm sorry, I read half of that and then my brain stopped. I was like, why does she keep them in the dark? You know, I used to have that problem too, to the point where I didn't even have Christmas trees anymore because my cats would climb up the center, and one time they knocked the whole thing over and there was glass balls everywhere. Anyway, so what I started doing is hanging my plants, which is really inappropriate for most of my plants because they like to climb. But even that snake plant, I had it hanging. I get those little macrame things and I just put hangers on it and I just lift everything off the floor. But I do have one cat, not both my cats, that consistently chews on my plants, and she prefers the toxic plants, the ones that are bad for cats. But what I've learned too is that she just chews them up and spits them out and destroys them, sure, but it's not actually harming my cat. So that was more important to me, was my cat more than the plant. Sorry, plant. But once I learned that she just spits them out, then she also learns that they're nasty, and then she stops. So she goes for them at first, but if you leave it there and you can tolerate your plant taking it for a little while, your cat will probably eventually learn. But I don't know, maybe your cat won't. Mine did. Most cats will. But some pets, I know some pets will just continuously do the wrong thing no matter how much you try to explain it to them. Pets just need a lot of attention. They need walks in the park and all the good stuff. He won't stop. Evil cat. Then yeah, you gotta lift your plants. You gotta start hanging all of them if you want indoor plants. I would say that maybe 50% of my plants now are all hanging in my house, or on a table or a counter or something. But yeah, I don't think, do I have any floor plants? I don't have any floor plants in my home because of my cat. They're all like on something. My cats are also older too now, so it's a little bit easier to keep them off of the furniture. So they kind of behave a little bit better. Okay, this tray is full, so I'm gonna deal with this tray first, and then we'll go back for these. I don't want to forget them. I'm really forgetful. ADHD all over the place. Okay, so I have my little planties in here. I'm like double checking, triple checking to make sure that none of them have gel left over on their roots, like this one I just noticed does. A little jelly right there. Yeah, you don't want that to be there, so triple double check. Do whatever it takes for you to take all these little jellies out. So I'm just making sure that they're clean so that they have a better chance of no bacteria growing on them. The gel likes to hook onto, like, especially the tip of the root sometimes. I don't know why. I think there's a little bit more root hairs on the tip, so it really sticks to that. So check your root tips. Okay, they all look clean. An alocasia? No. Those are the ones that my cat really likes to chew on. She likes syngoniums, alocasias. She doesn't care for the monsteras, nor the pothos, really. Oh, she hates orchids. She will take an orchid across the house and destroy it overnight and have it in pieces in the morning for me. Yeah, orchids can't come to the house. There's certain types of plants that she definitely goes after more than others. And they tend to be the poisonous ones. She must know. She's like, get this plant out of here. I'm going to kill it. Murder. Okay. I got my spray here. Antifungal, antibacterial, plant preservative in here. So use that. I have my little squirt bottle with just regular tap water because I like the minerals and all of those things that the water has for my plants. I don't use filtered water. I don't care if there's like hard water buildup. It's not that big of a deal. All right, and now what I have to do is grab the rest of this Fluval. So the ones that I have in here I've reused multiple times. This one's been reused 3 times. It's very clean, very easy to reuse. So I'm just going to use these to top off all the roots to make sure that the root is sitting on some nice media, or not sitting but touching nice media, and that those nutrients, when I water it from the top, those nutrients will go down into the bottom. So what I'm going to do is stand up my little plants. Here's my other little cup. And I'm just going to scoop the nice Fluval on top of them to hold them in place. And because the stuff is heavy, it easily holds your little plants up. You don't have to force them into any direction once they're there. They'll just stay. So it's really nice. Real nice when your plants stand up in place. This one I didn't dig a big enough hole. Make sure you dig a hole. There you go. And I go pretty light in the beginning, and then I go back and I kind of top them all flat. Give them a little shake, make sure they don't topple over, and then give them a little bit more soil. But yeah, some of these have a little too much rocks to start with. Dump it out somewhere in here. That's why they're not going this. There you go. That's better. I like them at a certain depth in the cup because of wind and other things that will happen to these little dudes. So I don't like them to sit all the way out and be exposed. I like them to sink into the cup a little bit. Even though I cover them, once I take the covers off, that's when the sides become more of a protective layer from wind or drafts. Heavy drafts. There's no wind down here. My plants have no wind. It's interesting to see how the little babies grow. They all have like a certain way that they grow their little roots at first. It's almost always sideways. Just kind of interesting to see the development from that young of a stage. Because we usually see monsteras once they already have their crazy snake-like roots. It's almost like characteristic of the plant to have a little sideways root in the beginning. Just the way it grows. Okay, so make sure they all stand up. A little more soil. Oops, this one did not. Need an extra layer. Okay, now all I have to do to my little teeny babies is take this little spray bottle that I have next to me here, and I'm going to spray them all pretty well with the antifungal spray in there and antibacterial, just to make sure that while they sit in their little greenhouses, once I put these little tops on there, So while they sit in there, that the lack of airflow doesn't encourage, you know, nasty things to grow in with them. I'm just kind of leveling them all off to make sure that these little caps sit on there comfortably. You go, little plants. Okay. Take the little wash bottle with your tap water, give them one more gentle rinse, and I wet the entire top of the flue ball very quickly, so not a lot of water is collecting. It's like a short little burst of water. And I do that to all of them to make sure that everything is hydrated properly. And while I blast the plant one more time, just in case there's one more little gel stuck on the leaves, I just give it one more little blast. That's part of the reason I use the wash bottle and not the spray bottle, because I want it to be a little intense. There you go, little plant. New little showers. And then I hit them with the antifungal, antibacterial. And I spray the little caps inside and just cap your little babies. The reason I spray the caps now, I used to not spray them when they're clean and new. I don't spray them, but because I've been reusing them, I'm just spraying them to make sure that there's no residue from previous stuff. There's two on there. In there. All right. So I have all of them capped. And then you wait. You take your little tissue cultures. You give them time. You must be a patient plant parent, especially when they're little. They take forever to grow when they're little. But once they pick up, once they have enough growth, then they kind of take off. Like these little guys at about this stage, when they have like their third, maybe fourth leaf, that are actually all on the plant. This has had more than 4 leaves, but some have fallen off. But once you get like about this size on the burley marks, then they actually start shooting off new leaves quickly. So the growth speeds up. It's a little bit slow, and then it goes into that exponential kind of J curve. Yeah, I changed it from desert bean to disco bean because the desert is not where I am anymore. So I was thinking I should have a name that's not attached to a location. And I'm not upstairs right now, so you don't see all the things, but I have a lot of disco decorations, like disco cacti and disco ducks and disco everything and just disco things because I love it all. Obviously, I have disco balls. And yeah, so I want a disco bean. Because bean is a nickname, and the disco part will just make everything shine, you know? So yeah, I made a little like bean disco, colorful little disco bean thing. And I made that my logo. And I built my website. And I am not ready to share it yet because I'm waiting for my seller's permit and everything to go through. That way it's actually like worth paying for the website, because right now I would have to pay for the website to get my domain, and that's just too much. I'm not ready for all that, so I'm gonna do it once I have all of my permits and things, and then I'll pay for my website, and then hopefully things will go from there. And then I'll have a plant shop. Okay, these are ready though. These are gonna sit here for 1 week at least in the greenhouse. After 1 week, I start kind of tipping the greenhouse, the top, I call it the greenhouse, kind of, you know, opening them slowly and then giving them more and more airflow throughout time, and eventually you take it off. I would say they're not coming completely off for at least the next 2 weeks with me. depending on the plant. Some need a little more time, some are quicker, but about 2 weeks in this slow removal, and then they should be good to sit still in the fluval. Like after those 2 weeks, I would still leave them in the fluval for, gosh, maybe another month or so until I know that their roots are very well developed and they have new growth. And then at that point, maybe I'll move them to soil, or some kind of like little mix of, what do you call this stuff? I forget. Moss and soil and perlite. A lot of perlite to keep the soil very aerated. So that's what you do with your tissue cultures. I have, what, how many more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like I have 6 left. And I have 3 containers here ready to go. I should have had exactly the right amount. Maybe I miscounted. Okay, that's fine. Oh, I know what I did with them. I actually used a couple extras. That's right. Okay, so I'm going to make 3 more containers. On the bottom of these, again, I'm using like reused stuff. And then on the top, I'm putting the nice flue ball. So this is like the reused stuff that I've used in the past. It tends to never have any like bacteria or anything, so it doesn't seem to be an issue of any sort to reuse them, since it's really nice media. What I don't like about the other volcanic medias, I keep saying the fluval specifically, is because the other volcanic medias are actually like the fluval, I think it's powdered volcanic rock and then they're clumped into these little balls. I don't know, but you can like squish them and break them apart, versus some stuff, like there's some stuff here that's reused. It's like actually volcanic rock. Like there's a little teeny, you can't, yeah, and I can't squish this. Now the fluval stuff, it's not like I can squish it. Well, I guess I can, yeah. I can squish it and it just turns into like dirt, soil. So the fluval is very light. It's very airy. It's very fluffy, if you will, for being a solid. I guess fluffy things are solid. Anyway, but it's not like the volcanic rock where it's very heavy, so it allows the roots to really kind of grow through it very easily. It's good stuff. I'm trying to say it's good stuff. Like I can feel the weight difference between the regular volcanic rock and the fluval, and it's a very significant difference. Especially when like digging my fingers through these to pull them apart. All right, I'm gonna have to rotate. These are all gonna go in here. Like using these old bins because it allows a lot of light through, and you can stack them up and the light still goes through all of them so that the bottom doesn't get darkness. I get all of these from like people's giveaways and trash cans. All the free stuff on Marketplace. That's what I use. It's very nice to get all that free stuff all the time. It's like the community supports my plant addiction. They're mostly all in here, and we should have room for the rest. 1, 2, 3. My God, 5 are gonna fit here, and then the 6th one's gonna have to be left out. It's gonna be the special one. We already know that. So we're gonna have a special plant. Ah! There's a lump right here on my floor, and my chair gets stuck to it. All right. What did I do with the plants? There they are. And to put our little plants in there. So I already kind of stuck my finger in there to create a groove. It's not that great in some of them, but make sure you get your little groove in there. I'm still checking for gel clumps all the time. You get really caught in between the little seams sometimes, that gel clumpy. A tiny little root. Same thing with this one. Wait a minute. There were 7 plants in here. 7. Okay, we're gonna have 2 special plants then. Now it's not it's such a big deal. When you have 60 of them in one spot and then one is left outside, that's frustrating. I guess 59 of them. Okay. Gonna cover with the flu ball. I already kind of overlooked these to make sure there's no gel on them. I've been staring at them. And I'll just put them in place. Some of them have such long roots, I have to put it off to the side a little bit, which is not the best because when you put that little lid on there and they start to grow, it starts to touch the side of the lid. So it is nice when they're centered, but like I said, they all have this distinct way of growing. It's like this L shape when they're in the bag, and that root forces them to go a little bit off to the side. Because I certainly don't want to bend or break the root. Don't bend nor break the roots. And disco bean. You know what I liked about the desert bean though is I love desert colors. They're almost like peach sunset colors. You know, coral. Very deserty. Not that I can't have those colors with the disco bean, but naturally with the disco theme, I want more colors than just deserty colors. I want purples and blues and all kinds of things when I think of disco. Oh my god, I can't believe I had such a perfect amount of supplies this time. Like my cups, my fluval, the lids, everything is almost running out. And the fluval literally. That's it. On the last plant. Perfect. Yes. Yes. I like it when things are perfect. As if it's ever perfect. Okay. Rinse them off. Get those leaves one last time. And get the fluval all moisturized. I hear this sound is very distinct online. I heard this yesterday. This is still distinct today. And this one almost needs a little bit more. I'm going to top it with a little bit of the volcanic rock. It's not my favorite to top it with the volcanic rock because, like I said, it's heavy. So it makes it kind of hard for the plant to grow and push its little roots down and up if it's all volcanic because it's heavy. I keep saying that, but it is heavy. All right. Blast them with your antibacterial spray. And that is how you deal with tissue cultures. And I literally have the perfect number of these lids too. Glad I didn't throw the cracked ones away because I almost did, but I needed them for this. You know, instead of putting all of these back into that container, actually, I'm going to put this back in the container. I was going to say I'm going to leave them here and there, but no, it's easier when all my things are all organized in one spot. I just really don't want to leave two out, but I'm going to have to. You know what the lid colors too? Remember oh, you're going to go to work. Go to work. No, no work, no work. Nice to see you. Remember with the lid colors we were talking about this? I also rotate the lids throughout time. I'll like move the colored ones especially. So I should leave it on one plant the whole time and see if it has an effect. I'm curious to see if it actually helps it, if it makes it worse, or if it has little to no effect. It has to have some effect, that's for sure. If I leave it long enough, I'll see it. Okay, I literally can't fit these two in here. It's giving me that feeling that I thought I was going to feel. I want to make them fit. So I'm like looking around for a way to make them fit, but it's just not going to. Alright, so these are done. I have 3 more of these containers. And each one of these has 16. So what is that? 4 times 16, that's 40, 24, that's 64. And 2 of these, so that's 66 of these little babies. Thought I ordered 60, but she did send me an extra bag. I noticed that when I first got it, so I got 66. Sweet. I don't know if she sent the extra bag because some of them had like weak little roots and weren't looking too hot, or if it was an accident, but I'll take it as she was looking out for me. Okay, I'm gonna put these back and then we're gonna smoke a bowl. So give me just 1 minute and I'll be right back. Oh my God, my butt was stuck to that chair. I brought one of the old little partners here. So this little dude doesn't have much variegation. The other ones are put away somewhere else. This one's been just sitting on the side. But that's how big it got. And this one, I know for sure, is exactly 4 months from when it was this size. So that takes 4 months for it to grow to what? Is that like double the size? Not bad. Not bad at all, actually. Maybe that's more than double the size. When I look at it on the camera, it looks way bigger. So it's a nice amount of growth. And then I'll put this away. I'm actually gonna move these little philodendrons that I had done not too long ago. And they're, well, roughly acclimating because I took the lid off of this one too fast. This is what happens. You take that lid off too fast and they literally just turn into like a crispy, crunchy, little runchy looking plate. Oh my God, and there's a little fruit gnat in here. How'd you get in there? Oh my God, I knocked the plant over. Ah! Jesus Christ, this thing is sad looking. No wonder it looks sad. It is sad. The thing looks dry. It needs water, poor thing. Little roots don't dig deep enough when they're philodendrons. They're like very shallow roots. So you really have to top water them for a while instead of bottom watering them, which I really prefer to bottom water my plants to make them drive their roots down. We are going to pack a new bowl this time though. Last time I finished what I had. Just trying to get all this blue ball out of the way. And we're going to put that right there. Why is this music playing? The whole time I've been wondering what is happening to my playlist. It's supposed to be blues, and whatever was playing right now, Santana, is not blues. Is Santana blues? No, Santana's not blues. Okay. All right. Now we're going to smoke the little nug. It's spilling over here. I made a mess. I spilled a little weed. Cheers to having 60 new baby Thai constellations and many more, and to a future plant shop with many beautiful plants in it. Cheers. Because you can't drink wine at 11:11 a.m. Make a wish. I mean, I guess I could drink wine at 11:11 a.m., but we don't want to do that. That's too early for today. Okay, I'm going to do a jelly bean dance. Yesterday my head got cut off. So, not cut my head off. Oh, little slippers. Alright, I'm shaped like a jelly bean. I'm shaped like a jelly bean. I'm shaped like a jelly bean. Living as the desert bean. Bing! Now the disco bean. Goodbye.